I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Have you joined the fastest growing fantasy motorsports app yet? On Grid Rival, you can join leagues with your friends and manage your own fantasy team on what race fans are calling, hands down, the best fantasy motorsport app out there. F1 and MotoGP leagues are now live for the 2021 season. Joining a league on Grid Rival will make every race more exciting, more engaging, and of course, more competitive. Download Grid Rival now on your iPhone or Android smartphone. Grid Rival is an unofficial application and not associated with Formula One, MotoGP, or any of their athletes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another night of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network, kicking things off with the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series. We are looking forward to a big night of racing coming up here, starting here at the Monster Mile, Dover International Speedway, Dover, Delaware, the newest of the Speedway Motorsports owned properties. Following this race, we're going to take off down to Sebring in Florida for the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. That one should be a good one, but this race is going to be absolutely wild. Looking at a race distance of 130 laps. We'll see that number when it comes up. But the more important number, a 65-minute time limit, which, depending on cautions, could very well be how this race shakes out. Pick up Craig Forsythe's machine as he makes his way down the front straightaway and in to turns 1 and 2. Laps are going to tick off here in a monster hurry. Best lap time belongs to James Watson, 18.13 seconds here in practice. But how you deal with traffic and keeping this thing under control is going to be key. Let's take a look here at the weather conditions presented by our friends at the Weather Center. Offensively accurate weather for eastern Pennsylvania, and Justice for Butters. Go check them out on their Facebook page. You'll see what we're talking about. 73 degrees the ambient temperature. Wind's going to be out of the south at 2 miles per hour. 95-degree track temperature under overcast skies. It is going to be a warm one here in the state of Delaware. New paint scheme on the side of that number 72 for Craig Forsyth. Another of the Forsythe Racing throwbacks. LMCgear.com still on the side of that machine, but more to like the Indec Paul Tracy years a little bit later on in that run. I want to thank everybody who's tuning in on YouTube and on Twitch, as we are really looking forward to a fun night of racing coming up here. We mentioned James Watson has the best overall lap time as we're down inside the final 2 minutes of practice. 18.126 seconds. That is a lap speed of 198.610 miles per hour. They are flying around this place here tonight. Actually, we'll take a look here. Pull the best lap times up for you so you can see where your favorite is running here in the practice session. And that's going to be the tricky part, getting on and off of this pit lane. The back straightaway is so short at the speeds they're running. You have to enter the pits off of turn number 3. The problem is you got to get slowed down so you don't slide back up the racetrack and into oncoming traffic. Here is your quick timer working his way down the front straightaway. James Watson at that 18:126. Oh, man, Watson really bending that car up, getting on to pit lane. So there you have it. There is the checkered flag on the practice session, and James Watson going to be your quick timer. The guy that everybody is chasing right now, Matt Wagner, going to be 12th on the speed charts in practice. But he's less than, we'll call it 2/10 behind Watson's quick lap time. We'll see what qualifications are going to bring here. That 18:126 number is going to be big, and oh my goodness, open qualifying coming up here. So not only are we going to get to see some wireless, oh, there you go, Watson lighting them up, spinning it around. Nice save there on pit exit for James Watson. But the group qualifying is, oh man, this could be insane. Taking a look at the series history here, this will be the 5th race for a track 1 mile or less in length. Matt Wagner has won 2 of those, picking up a couple of wins in Season 2 for the series at Milwaukee and New Hampshire. The only time this year they visited a new speedway, 1 mile or less, was a visit to Iowa earlier this season, and Matt Wagner getting the win there as well. So in 4 completed ovals that we'll call the short track variety, Matt Wagner's won at 3 of those races. It'll be the of the 5 races on an oval 1 mile or less. This is number 5 anyway. Matt Wagner has 2 wins there. Zach Evans going to be your quick timer thus far. How about new quick time, Navarre Luce heading to the top of the board, 18:170. That lap time, 198.129 miles per hour. Let's pick back up with Zach Evans here, who's rolling his way out onto the racetrack. Matt Wagner going to jump in 10th on the board. 26.065 seconds for Wagner. Evans, Kinder, and Watson all on the outlaps. Brooks, Coates, and Teed making their way out onto the racetrack now, as is Jeff Destino. J.W. Miller starting his first flying lap. Vic Aldrich just getting out onto the race course as well. Halfway home here in the qualifying session, it is still Navarre Luce in the number 96, going to be at the top of the board. Following along here with Zach Evans, who is second quick still. The interloper is back, making another appearance here. Sebastian Kinder making his way in. Oh my goodness, where on the racetrack was that? They're 3 wide coming off at turn 4. Man, that's not smart. That was Gary Corley in the middle of that one. You make any contact and you're just, the lap's done. You might as well park the car, take the tow, and come right back out again. Pick up here the number 51 of Jim Brooks, area 51 on the side of that machine, making his way through turns 3 and 4. Hearing the drivers talk about being completely flat out around this place. Sebastian Kinder coming around Brooks. Kinder third quick on the boards at an 18.235. And he is running just a tick slower than your current pole sitter, 197.423 miles per hour for Sebastian Kinder. Jason Hand, very quick in the practice session. In the 00. Oh, seeing Craig Forsyth getting down into the inside wall. Here's Hand, man, dips a couple of tires up. We'll see how tight race control is going to be on that tonight. Charles Teed, always a contender on the ovals. Down now to 30 seconds remaining in qualifications, and right now it looks like Navarre Luce going to pick up the Grid Rival Pole Award, at least where it stands right now anyway. Oh, Matt Wagner, new quick time, 18.140 seconds. 198.456 miles per hour. Wagner tucked in line. I believe that was right behind Gary Corley. He backs off before another lap goes on the board, and not good news for anybody chasing Matt Wagner in the point standings. He will be your Grid Rival Pole Award winner here with a lap time of 18.140 miles per hour. Hearing anywhere from 40 to 45 laps will be the pit window tonight. Nobody can make it on one stop. It is even 3 stops may be a little bit questionable here. Let's see if we can't sneak a very quick word in here with Matt Wagner, your pole sitter, winning the Grid Rival Pole Award tonight. And I'll tell you what, Matt, the car quick there in qualifying, quicker than you showed in practice. What do you think we're going to expect heading into the race tonight now?
We're going to expect a lot of jockeying for position here. I'm just really just looking forward to just try and keep my car clean the entire race. You might even see me fall to the back. So don't expect me, if I get out of line, like if I lose the lead the first couple of laps, I probably will fall to the back. So we'll see what happens here. I'm looking forward to the race. I got a couple teammates in here. James and I were talking before the race, so we'll see what happens.
All right, bud. Thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us. Congratulations once again on winning the Grid Rival Pole Award here tonight. And let's pick up Navarre Luce, Matt Wagner on the front row for tonight's race. Wagner going to be the last car to get out onto the starting grid. Wagner and Luce on row number 1. Row 2 will have Sebastian Kinder and Zach Evans. Vic Aldrich and Jim Brooks on row number 3. Charles Teed, J.W. Miller on row number 4. Craig Forsythe, Alec Coates on row 5. Jason Hand and Gary Corley on row number 6. Row 7, Jeff Destino and Cullen Johnston. Row 8, James Watson and Joseph Morales. Big surprise to see Watson sitting there a full second off the pace in qualifications. TJ McMurray, Ty Richter going to be on row number 9 as the field rolls off and head towards turn number 1. And Timothy Watson will round out the field here at the back, and it looks like Timothy will be a did not start here tonight, as that car not yet on the racetrack. It's going to be wild. It is going to be very intense for 150 laps here around the Monster Mile. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car, and you'll see it make the hard left-hand turn fairly early to get onto pit lane. The field will go under the control of Matt Wagner and Navarre Luce, already slowing things down just a little bit. And as always, race fans, the start of the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series at Dover is going to be all yours. lot of shuffling going on towards the back of the pack. Everybody going to be single file up towards the front of the field. Wagner leading here at lap number 3. Navarre Luce, Sebastian Kinder, Jim Brooks, Zach Evans, your top 5. Slide back in the pack here. First side-by-side battle will be Ty Richter and Jeff Destino. This is the fight for the 15th position. They get settled in, and we're going to look back to the front of the field here as Sebastian Kinder going to have Jim Brooks all over his rear end. We were hearing tires were going to be a massive consideration tonight. Ooh, Charles Teed almost getting a piece of the safer barrier on the exit of turn 4. It's not that the car develops a big push or gets really loose or anything. It's just we're hearing it just slows down, and it seems like everything starts to compress a little bit. Seeing a little bit of a connection issue there out of Navarre Luce running in the 2nd position. As we mentioned, pit windows looking like they're going to be right about 40 to 45 laps. If you stop at lap number 40 and lap number 80, that's only going to get you to lap 120 or so. The stop at lap 120 will get you to the end. The big difference is if you can make it out to lap 45, that will get you the stop at lap 90. Still doesn't get you to the end of the race, but it does make things a little bit shorter. It also allows for a little bit more wiggle room in terms of caution flags if you know you can run a little bit longer. The other big one that's going to come into play here is lap traffic. Joseph Morales, about a half a racetrack, in fact, less than half a racetrack behind race leader Matt Wagner at this point. Gary Corley, James Watson battling back in the pack here. That's going to be Watson down on the inside. Corley up on the outside. TJ McMurray, Ty Richter side by side right behind him. Pace laps at 195 miles an hour. Something we're also going to see develop over the course of the race is how big does the aero push get through the corners? You get sucked up behind somebody, it's going to be very easy to either run into the back of them or as you slide up, the car behind you will get the run, and it kind of leaves them nowhere to go. Oh, big hit into the outside wall for TJ McMurray. He kind of pancaked that number 48 machine. Oh, there he goes. He spins down to the inside. Hard contact inside wall. We'll see if that's going to bring out a caution flag. It has not yet. And TJ McMurray going to get that car cleared off the racetrack. We stay under the green flag. Seeing Cullen Johnston having an issue as well here. Get you a look at the NRN instant replay here. See what happened to Cullen off of turn number 2. Yeah, you see the back end of the car just start to step out. Big contact down into the inside retaining wall. Almost an identical hit to what we saw out of TJ McMurray. That's 2 cars early on in this race that will be down in the pit area having to take the tow. Should have the backup car available, but you're going a ton of laps down with how quickly this race is going to progress, especially as we stay green. Show you the lap time battle here at the front of the field. And Matt Wagner, the last 5 laps, with the exception of lap number 13, faster than Navarre Luce. But again, you're only talking in the hundredths of a second here. He's not gaining a ton of time. but it is enough to see the lead start to expand as we'll slide back here, pick up Jim Brooks, Zach Evans, Vic Aldrich. Evans gets a good run off of turn number 2. Oh, one car hard into the inside retaining wall. Down the back straightaway. Not sure who that one was. Cullen Johnston, TJ McMurray, both back on the racetrack at this point. Zach Evans still trying to get around Jim Brooks. Wasn't quite close enough to attempt to pass. Now he's going to try it into turn 1. Brooks sort of chops the nose off just a little bit, slides up the racetrack. That'll allow him to keep the momentum up, and he stays ahead of Zach Evans. Seeing Jekar checking in on Twitch. Thank you very much. We appreciate the kind words there. Look a little bit further back in the pack here. James Watson down looking again inside of Gary Corley as we work lap number 23. Watson in the thick of the points battle right now, and this is not the race he wanted to have. Quite frankly, same is true for J.W. Miller at this point. He's only up 1, running in the 7th position. Watson and Richter both going to be able to clear Corley. Corley gets the good run off of turn number 4. At the line, it was going to be Richter. You wonder here as we look a little bit further forward in the field, Jim Brooks, Zach Evans, Vic Aldrich, J.W. Miller. You wonder if Evans, Aldrich, and Miller might not be a hair quicker than Jim Brooks at this point, but quite frankly, just no reason to fight to get around them. Sebastian Kinder coming around Navarre Luce. Oh yeah, Luce has got trouble. He got it up into the safer barrier. Oh man, that car is a monster handful right now. Keep control of it, Navarre. Doing a good job of that so far, but at this point now he's going to have to just get himself up on the outside and try to get that car down into pit lane, and he will. All the way down into the infield. Here comes the guy who started second tonight, Navarre Luce, unfortunately heading down pit lane, and that will be pretty much the end. Oh, looks like Jim Brooks may have hit the outside wall as well. Brooks now making his way down pit road. Not sure what the issue was there, but Zach Evans very quickly up now into third, and he's brought J.W. Miller along for the ride. Drew Ekstrom, the Steelers fan. We won't hold that against you, at least not too much anyway. Saying, let's go, Zach. Couple of good battles working through the field here. Charles Teed, Alec Coach, James Watson, all running within a few car lengths of each other. Jim Brooks, Navarre Luce, both down and away off of pit lane. Taking a look at the time on the stop. Looking like right about 40 seconds or so is what you're going to lose on pit lane. J.W. Miller holding tight. Let's pick up Jeff Destino, Gary Corley. Corley may have had an issue here. That car very, very slow and off the pace. Just ahead, Alec Coates coming around James Watson. Already working lap number 34, and quite frankly, absolutely shocked that we have not seen a yellow. But we're hearing it is going to be an adventure trying to get these cars on the pit lane. Jim Brooks, last time by, setting the fastest lap of the race at an 18.254. Currently scored 15th. Looks like 2 laps down to the race leader. However, with the short pit, he may cycle back through towards the front of the field here. To run the 3-stop strategy, the windows, I believe, are open here. See the stop for Jim Brooks at lap number 28. Yeah, he is right in that window of making a 3-stop strategy work with that early pit stop. Not by much, though. You wonder if that was a called stop there for Jim Brooks. That'll be interesting to see if it was a big undercut. J.W. Miller coming down pit road now. One of the championship contenders at lap number 39. That really changes the math if you're only getting 38 or so laps. Matt Wagner has already come past to put J.W. Miller a lap down. Cover the stop here for J.W. hitting the marks. The Team Watson Racing crew going to work on Miller's entry. Up and down off the jack. 7.98 seconds for a full tank of Speedway fuel and 4 fresh Firestone Firehawk tires. Here comes James Watson making his way down pit road. So I'm going to say that may be a called stop by Jim Brooks. Oh, somebody having a big issue there trying to get on the pit lane. May have been, yeah, that's TJ McMurray having an issue. Tearing the front wing off of that car, and that will be the end of the night for TJ McMurray. He will finish tonight no better than the 17th position as James Watson making his way back out onto the racetrack. Got to make sure you don't spin the thing either. Question now becomes, when do we see race leader Matt Wagner in? This is a little bit more in line. Seeing Sebastian Kinder and Alec Coates, also Joseph Morales making their way down pit lane. This is at lap number 45. Here comes your race leader, Matt Wagner, making his way down pit lane for stop number 1. Got to get down to the pit road speed limit. Ooh, man, that's going to be tight. See if Wagner gets the penalty there. The big lockup on the way in, area 51. And butt kicker on the side of the number 1 for your defending champion. And we'll know right away if this pit stop goes any longer than between 7 and 9 seconds. Hits the marks right there at the end of pit lane. Zach Evans and Jeff Destino in this time. Craig Forsyth, Charles Teed staying out on the racetrack. Wagner down and away. Good stop for Matt Wagner. 8.63 seconds. Here comes Charles Teed out of the second position for the Dark Horse Indy team. Question now becomes, how many more laps is Craig Forsyth, going to go? Ooh, man, he almost got the outside wall off of turn 4. And is it going to be worth it to stretch? I think it will, because this is lap number 50, and here comes Forsythe on to pit lane. Oh, get it woed up, keeps it down on the inside. Big charge into pit lane. Huge lockup for Forsythe. Charles Teed down and away, 8.22 seconds. This will be the final stop of the first stint. And this could be huge. Charles Teed coming in at lap number 50. That could make this a two-stop race as we are down to 100 laps to go. We are at 1/3 distance and we are 16 minutes into the show. See where Forsythe is going to come out here. He's down and away, 8.33 seconds, the time of the stop for Forsythe. Back out on the racetrack, Matt Wagner will come past there into turn number 1, and he will be your leader by a pretty wide margin here over J.W. Miller. In fact, call it the entire length of the back straightaway. So now let's show you the stint length here. 46 laps for Matt Wagner at the front of the field. J.W. Miller only going 38 laps. Jim Brooks coming out in third after the cycle, picking up a handful of positions. So good strategy call for Jim Brooks. Now he's going to have to go, quite frankly, pretty darn far on this set of stops. Sebastian Kinder was inside the top 3. He now runs 4th after that first round of stops. Vic Aldrich holding on to position number 5. Show you the pit stop time here. 8.6 for Wagner, 8 flat for Miller, 8.3 for Brooks. Everybody there kind of in that 8-ish second range for the pit stops. And this is right now the tightest battle at the front of the field. Jim Brooks and Sebastian Kinder. About the same distance apart will be Alec Coates and Ty Richter. They're battling for the 9th and 10th positions. And once again, we're seeing something similar here. Jim Brooks, obviously on the little bit of the fuel conservation strategy. Sebastian Kinder not able to get around, and it's brought Vic Aldrich and Craig Forsythe up into the party here. We mentioned in the pre-race that the average number of cautions here on ovals 1 mile and less is 4. However, the last 2 races have seen 0 and 2 cautions. On the 2 shorter ovals they've run this season at Motegi and Iowa. First visit for the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series here to Dover. In first-time visits to racetracks, Matt Wagner has won almost half the races, 42% to be specific. He's been the dominant force in the league, and he is currently leading the point standings. Craig Forsythe looking down to the inside of Vic Aldrich. Going to move him up to the 5th position. And Forsythe on 6-lap fresher tires than Sebastian Kinder. The big deal here for Forsythe, he's going to try to do this on one fewer pit stop than everybody else. If we don't get the caution flags, that is a very gutsy call that could pay off in a big way. But it's a big if that Forsythe is going to be able to do 2 more 50-lap stints and not lose any time as well. Colin Johnston making his way down pit lane out of the 13th position. Taking a look back to the front of the field, and Matt Wagner has opened up a 1.4 second advantage over J.W. Miller. Jim Brooks holding on about 1.3 back in third, and another 1.2 seconds back to Sebastian Kinder in fourth. Then we get to this good battle between Kinder, Forsythe, and Aldrich, currently running about a third of a second apart, but that's the closest you're going to find. Well, until Alec Coates is going to work on James Watson. Lap number 69 is on the board. That's always nice. So following along with this battle, I can't believe this. We are only about 10 laps or so away from the next round of pit stops, especially for the cars that had to stop at less than 40 laps. If Jim Brooks is able to go the 45 to 50 laps, you're talking 72 to 77 or so is where we're going to see Jim Brooks come in. J.W. Miller pitting at lap number 38. That would be lap number 76 that we would have to see J.W. come in. Still talking about getting all the way out to lap number 92 for Matt Wagner, and then lap 100 for Craig Forsythe. Sebastian Kinder, Craig Forsythe battling. Forsythe had a peek at the entry to 3. Gets the big draft. He's going to dive down to the inside of turn number 1. Kinder going to be able to keep it wound up on the outside of the racetrack. And here is Jim Brooks on pit lane this time. So unfortunately for Jim, it looks like these stops are going to have to come right about where we were expecting them to here. Forsythe got those tires pretty warmed up. And here comes J.W. Miller down pit lane. Second round of stops is on, and for J.W. Miller, that's going to come at lap number 76 on schedule here for J.W. That's going to get him right out to, we'll say right around lap 150. With a stop at lap number 114 will be the next time we'll see J.W. Miller on pit lane. He'll be down and away 8.33 seconds. Craig Forsythe still holding off Vic Aldrich. Zach Evans runs fourth. How about James Watson? Now up inside the top 5. He's up 10. Ty Richter claiming the Hard Charger award right now. He's up 11 And a big run for Craig Forsythe up to the 7th position. Here comes Watson, Alec Coates, and Ty Richter. They're going to pit out of 5th, 6th, and 7th. Vic Aldrich now making his way down pit lane out of the 4th position. My goodness, that feels like an eternity at the 35-mile-an-hour pit road speed limit as compared to the 190-plus mile-an-hour laps these drivers are setting on the racetrack. Watson down and away, coming out just ahead of Ty Richter. Alec Coates looks to be slightly faster in the box. Watson will come back around it. Gosh, so important not to spin the car there. You want to try to make the big run. J.W. Miller last time by setting a new fastest lap of the race. 18.253 seconds. Quite frankly, not far off from where they qualified from. Speed of 197.228 miles per hour. That time by for J.W. Miller. So now working lap 84, and still the Matt Wagner show at the front of the field. Let us know where you're watching from here, everybody. Hopefully you are enjoying the show. Still with a handful of cars that have not made their second pit stop of the race. You wonder if Matt Wagner's going to try to stretch this out to a 50-lap stint. That would have to go all the way out to lap number 96, though. The lead for Matt Wagner, 6.2 seconds over Craig Forsythe. Forsythe will have Zach Evans just behind him in tow. Charles Teed running 12 seconds behind this battle right now. J.W. Miller and Jim Brooks battling. This is for the 5th position, and both of these cars have made their second pit stop. Drew, the Steelers fan from Lincoln, Nebraska. Thank you very much for hanging out here. Can't say go Cornhuskers, though. Well, I guess I just did, but you know what I mean. Surf Gonzo just joining from Sedona, saying, let's go, Vic. Vic Aldrich has had a pretty decent run here tonight. He made his second stop at lap number 80, currently running 4 and change seconds behind this battle. A little bit further ahead, just at the other end of the straightaway, Craig Forsythe and Zach Evans. They're going to continue their war. Would expect Matt Wagner to come in the next couple of laps here to complete his service. The question becomes, has he already made the bed in terms of the strategy calls here? Because even if he can get 50 out of the car, if Craig Forsythe is able to run that same 50-lap stint, he's going to cut an entire stop off of this. So Wagner may have to run, he would have to go upwards of 55 laps. And that will not happen. Here he comes down pit road at lap number 94. Forsythe going to rapidly come around and take the race lead away. Zach Evans also on pit lane this time. Zach pitting out of the 3rd position. Seeing Kenneth checking in the comments here on YouTube. Giving a little love to James Watson. Charles Teed now up to the second position. He was able to go 48 laps. If he can get 51 out of it, then it's going to be really close as to whether Teed can make it. But a 3-lap stretch might be asking a bit much here as Matt Wagner gets back out onto the racetrack. We are anticipating he will rejoin here in third, but he's only going to have not much as Craig Forsyth comes around again to put Wagner another lap down. There's J.W. Miller coming around the outside of the racetrack. Good battle there. Miller and Wagner battling for what is the effective lead of the race. But at this point, we just don't know how the strategy game is going to work out for Craig Forsyth. 4 cars currently being scored out of the race. Gary Corley, TJ McMurray, Navarre Luce, and Timothy Watson. Charles Teed coming down pit lane. Matt Wagner coming around the race leader to get one of the laps back that he was down. And here comes Craig Forsyth into pit lane this time at lap number 100. Big lockup again on the way in. Oh, man, he had to hold the lockup too. Could a pit speeding penalty kill the strategy game? We'll find out if there is a penalty coming for Craig Forsyth here very, very shortly. Forsyth hits the box just on the exit side of victory lane. Car is up on the jacks. He's down and away and rolling 8.3 seconds. Managed to just get that car down to pit road speed limit. Forsyth going to rejoin the race here in the 4th position. Actually, Vic Aldrich also coming around on the outside. But he made the number. That's the key here. Craig Forsyth doesn't care where he runs right now on the racetrack. What he cares about is the fact that he may be able to do this on one fewer pit stop than the rest of the field. Let's take a look here and show you a quick through the field here, at least amongst the top 10 cars or so. Matt Wagner has led almost every lap of this race, with the sole exception of during the exchange of pit stops. J.W. Miller running 1.3 seconds behind your race leader. Great run for J.W., up 6 in qualifying. So we also have Joseph Morales making his way down the pit lane. Jim Brooks runs 3rd. He is up 3 from the start of the race. 1.3 seconds behind second place J.W. Miller. 2.7 seconds behind race leader Matt Wagner. Very good night for Jim Brooks. He does like the high-banked ovals, picking up a win in Season 2 at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Homestead, basically an overgrown version of Dover with progressive banking. That's the other big part of the differences there. Show you the tightest battle for position right now. This is Alec Coates and Zach Evans. Coates running in the 8th position. Not too far ahead is James Watson, about a half second up the racetrack. Craig Forsyth starting to catch in on Sebastian Kinder. The pit strategies here are absolutely insane. Should see a final pit stop here out of Jim Brooks, who stopped at lap number 73. And again, I think this could be a brilliant call here by Jim Brooks to get himself up towards the front of the field. He's going to have to stop at right around lap 135 is where the number is going to be for Jim Brooks. Seeing Kenneth checking into the comments here. Mr. Coates, tell me you run for Watson without telling me you run for Watson. I think Alec Coates is a mediocre motorsports driver. See that on the side, AC/DC colors on the side of that one. Here is Jim Brooks on pit lane at lap 112. This is going to be tight. He is going to have to go basically all the way to the end here. Alec Coates looking like he is on pit lane along with J.W. Miller, Jim Brooks, Ty Richter. I'm guessing this is where these drivers think they can go the rest of the way on fuel. And Matt Wagner just hot lapping out here. Ken is saying he feels bad now. I don't feel bad. There are some, quite frankly, hideous paint schemes out there, but the vast, vast majority do belong to Team Watson Racing. Keep tracking Craig Forsythe here. Well, let's run you back through the field here. Second place right now is Vic Aldrich, up 3 from where he started the race in the Nitro Circus, Team Watson Racing, number 98. Running into third position is Craig Forsythe, and this is the guy that we are just not sure on. He's done 2 50-lap stints, but it is going to be tight if he can make it the entire way on fuel. Absolutely. Clip away on that one there, bud. Make sure you share it out to the socials, too. Sebastian Kinder running in the 4th position. Oh, trouble for Jim Brooks. Big trouble for Jim Brooks. He's looped around trying to get the car off of pit lane. Keep an eye on it here. Completes the stop. 29.7 seconds the time of the stop. Car starts to snap loose. Does a nice job keeping it off the walls, but Jim Brooks going to lose a ton of time on the racetrack. James Watson going to have to deal with Zach Evans running 5th and 6th, but here comes Watson onto pit lane. Also Vic Aldrich and Sebastian Kinder. Oh, man. Kinder locked him up big. Watson got it sideways on the entrance to the pit lane. So Watson is in his box. We'll see if he's going to pick up a penalty of some kind here. He does not, down and away, 8.88 seconds. Sebastian Kinder in his box. He is going to come out just ahead of team boss James Watson. Kinder, 8.67 seconds. But they will not come out ahead of race leader Matt Wagner. Anticipating the stop here from race leader Matt Wagner. Stopping last at lap number 94. Looks like he will be should be right around lap 138, by the way, the lap that we anticipate seeing Matt Wagner come in. Here's the big number, though. Show you the interval here. This is the gap between cars. Matt Wagner only 12.7 seconds ahead of Craig Forsyth at this point. Time on pit lane, 39 to 40 seconds. If Craig Forsyth can go all the way, Matt Wagner is as good as done. Now, he's going to come home second, so long as he doesn't screw the pooch somewhere and, really step on it. And Matt Wagner doing, quite frankly, everything he needs to do except for maybe nailing the strategy call right. Because we'll pick up Craig Forsyth here as he works his way around the racetrack. And off at turn number 2, Forsyth turning laps about 0.3 of a second slower than what Matt Wagner is. Problem for Wagner is Forsyth may be able to go the rest of the way without stopping. Matt Wagner absolutely is going to have to stop. At least we think so. Third place running right now is Charles Teed. He stopped at lap number 98. Again, Teed could really make a fantastic run here up inside the podium. He's only got to squeeze an extra 2 laps of fuel out of the car at this point. And there's the real story. We are down to 2 cars remaining on the lead lap. J.W. Miller 12 seconds back of Teed, running in the 4th position. Let's pick up James Watson, Sebastian Kinder, and Zach Evans. This is the only real battle for position on the racetrack right now. Alec Coates about 0.6 ahead of him. Oh, Craig Forsyth coming down pit lane. Oh, and he almost loops it. Forsyth has to make a stop. This changes everything. What a save by Craig Forsyth. Show you the replay here. Oh, man, he may have gotten the wall. Inside of turn number 3. Slides the car into the box. Man, this is going to be tight. We'll have to see. Forsyth down and away, 3.75 seconds. He's played the card, but he's going to come out behind J.W. Miller. Matt Wagner coming in this lap. That's going to put Charles Teed to the head of the field, or at least it should anyway. There you see Charles Teed going by on the front straightaway as we follow race leader Matt Wagner down into his pit box. Wagner electing to take the full service. 8.53 seconds. Charles Teed does come past. And here comes J.W. Miller. About 3 seconds back of Matt Wagner. This battle could be tight. Now the question becomes, can Charles Teed squeak an extra couple of laps of fuel out of that number 50? Last lap time, 19 seconds flat for Charles Teed. I think he's trying to make it work. And right now, he has a lap on everybody but Matt Wagner, J.W. Miller, and Vic Aldrich. I can't believe we've gone 143 laps caution-free at Dover in the IndyCars. 46 minutes, 38 seconds currently on the clock as Craig Forsythe gets down to the inside of Teed. That will put him back on the lead lap. New fastest lap of the race, and it belongs to Matt Wagner. 18.116 seconds. That's qualifying lap speeds, in fact. 198.719 miles per hour. Wagner still sitting about 4 seconds back of Charles Teed. Tight battle here for position. James Watson, Zach Evans battling. Oh, man, they're doing that right in front of race leader Matt Wagner, too. Wagner does not want to see this. He is going to lose ground to Charles Teed the longer he can't get around these two. Wagner going to get around Watson down to the inside. Here's the big question. Does Charles Teed have enough fuel in that tank to go 52 laps to close this one out? Down to 3 to go. Wagner rapidly catching up. Teed is going to have to giddy up and go here. Popsicle sticks at the start-finish line. 2 to go. Wagner has about 20 car lengths and 2 lap cars separating him from the race lead. And those lap cars are going to be side by side. That's really going to hold things up here. Teed off at turn number 4. White flags in the air, 1 to go. Teed holds it down to the inside. Can he hold off Matt Wagner? Can he make the fuel last? Teed drops to the inside. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. If he's going to have it, checkered's in the air. Charles Teed gets the win at Dover. What a finish. Matt Wagner coming home 5/100ths of a second back. He comes home second. J.W. Miller comes home third. A guy we didn't even give a thought to. At least in terms of nailing the strategy call. Oh my goodness, what a finish. Teed may not have any fuel left for the donuts. Yeah, he's going to park it right there on the front stretch. Teed had nothing left. But he is your winner by 52 thousandths over Matt Wagner. J.W. Miller coming home third. Vic Aldrich fourth. Craig Forsythe completing the top 5. 6th place, Alex Coates going to be the final car on the lead lap. Sebastian Kinder, Zach Evans, James Watson, and Ty Richter complete your top 10. Jim Brooks, Joseph Morales, Jeff Destino, Cullen Johnston, and Jason Hand back through 15th. Gary Corley, TJ McMurray, and Navarre Luce will round out your field here at Dover this evening. Oh, my goodness. That was absolutely insane. Get everybody lined up here for the victory lane interviews. These are going to be fun. Let's start things off with the man of the hour, your race winner tonight, Charles Teed. How empty were you coming across the finish line there, brother?
I went to map 1 right at the very end there, Chris. That was because I had to keep those last 2 cars. If you noticed in the last lap, I kind of slammed the door because I saw Matt coming, and I was in a perfect spot just to get second place. Craig had his problem, which opened the door, and I had to get in another lap of fuel, which was absolutely a nightmare with 14 to go. And Wagner coming balls to the wall after me. But, yeah, we ran out on the parade lap. I got to do half of a burnout, and it ran out.
Oh, my goodness. What's going through your head there? You talk about it. It's a pain with 14 to go to try to save an extra lap of fuel. That's tough when these cars are flat out around this place. What's going through your head, though? I mean, how early did you have to commit to that fuel save?
Craig did it earlier than I did. That's why he had nearly I think he actually did have a lap on me at the end. I did at lap 35. I was pretty confident that we'd have some cautions early on, and I mean, there was I think some banging around, but no caution. Then I just really made sure that I made up on the second run, and was just extremely fortunate there that I was able to tow off of several people and get 51 laps on that last run. And it was half throttle map 5. From the second out of the pits, I never left map 5 until the middle of the back straight on the last lap when I saw the red car on my keister. And I was like, Matt, you're going to get me. I'm going to be out of fuel if you are, you son of a bitch. So
that's awesome. You were full Rossi clutch and coast mode there for the
Yeah.
last stint. Tell you what, man, absolutely incredible call. I mentioned it right at the end of the race. I didn't peg you as the guy that could make it. And then we got through the last set of stops, and I went, wait a minute. He's only got to squeeze 2 laps. 1 lap, maybe. 2,
Yeah.
That's a big ask, though.
Yep. Yeah, it was probably not the most exciting one to watch if you're not paying attention to the fuel mileage. But Craig did a masterful job beating me right. I think he probably was in map 5 from the very beginning. And I got no practice really. I just kind of jumped in with the guys and ran. So I qualified for shit, and I do love this track, but extraordinarily fortunate that there were no cautions there down the stretch. And I really was just trying to get in the top 3.
Well, congratulations, bud, on a big win here tonight, and let's make sure we get all your sponsor plugs and thank yous in before we let you go.
Yeah, it was really first and foremost, Chris, thank you. You do great broadcasts. Whenever I run, I was trying to listen to it. The Dark Horse guys, Area 51, the guys here, Alec gives me a lot of shit, but Alec is such a good dude. And for them with the ESRA group here, it's a lot of fun when I can run. It's tough with my career to make a whole lot of time to run anymore, and then with kids on top of it. But when I can, I'm going to come in here and run with you guys.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you very much, bud. We appreciate
Thanks, bud.
the time here. And, oh, man, what an incredible race here tonight. And we're getting another one coming up here in just a few minutes as we get ready for the Indy Pro 2000 Championship to be coming up from Sebring. Currently 36 cars on the entry list for that one, so it looks like a couple of 18-car splits, actually up to a couple of 19-car splits here as that's just ticked over. That one's going to be a ton of fun. My God, did we get a great one tonight here out of the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series. Charles Teed getting the win over Matt Wagner and J.W. Miller. And we'll be back here in just a few minutes. You're watching the Thursday night doubleheader. Charles Teed gets the win at Dover. Who's it going to be at Sebring? We'll find out next, right here on the National Racing Network.